Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. So this week, we'll be finishing Module 3 and starting Module 4. So first, to finish Module 3, on Tuesday, we have a discussion activity in which you will revisit your complex problem and discuss what you've learned so far, how your thinking has developed since the beginning of the semester, and also some possible solutions to the problem. So you, of course, have already considered your complex problem further through some of our class activities and assignments, but for this, you'll go a little bit further. Plus, you'll need to draw from at least 2 sources in your post, perhaps something that you found for your bibliography this last week. So take a look at the instructions on Canvas for more details about that. And then, of course, replies to classmates will be due within 24 hours after your initial post is due. And your replies to classmates are really a good place for you to help your classmates out with their thinking about their complex problems. And hopefully, their feedback to you will also be helpful. So this week, we are also starting Module 4, storytelling. And of course, storytelling is very central to English studies. But of course, storytelling is also central to a lot of other things, our understanding of history, of the news, current events, and even our daily lives in some ways. So in Module 4, we'll also be considering storytelling in relation to professional settings, particularly how organizations and companies tell and share their stories. So to start out this module, by Thursday, you should be sure, of course, to read through the introduction presentation to the module, as well as the Module 4 readings page. And as mentioned in the Module 4 presentation, after reviewing this module, you should be able to describe the features of storytelling, recognize how organizations tell and share their stories, and, of course, using the tools of English studies, analyze and evaluate how groups tell and share stories. So this storytelling also, of course, relates to complex problems. For example, a company might present a particular narrative to the public to improve its public image in response to a scandal that harmed the company's image. Or perhaps in response to world problems such as climate change, hurricane disaster, war in Ukraine, a company might present a narrative on its efforts to help address the problem. And of course, companies might present this story or narrative in many different ways. For example, advertisements, company websites, social media pages, media campaigns, press releases, lots of different ways that they might be doing that. And of course, we will be looking at some examples in this module, and you'll also analyze how a company or organization tells its story. And of course, as a professional, when you are working for a company or even running your own business, you might, of course, be one of those people helping to shape an organizational or corporate story. So regardless of your profession, you will be involved in storytelling. So I hope this module will be helpful for you with thinking about that. And of course, the Module 4 introduction also explains how concepts that you associate with literary analysis, if you've been studying English before, how those concepts actually can be applied to analyzing how organizations and corporations tell stories. So this is, of course, another way that you might be able to see how the tools of English studies are transferable to professional settings. And of course, in Module 4, you will be building on what you've learned in previous modules as you continue to consider your complex problem in relation to storytelling. And of course, in your most recent essay, you looked at one particular document or artifact and you analyzed that. And for the upcoming essay that we'll be doing in Module 4, that'll require you to look at multiple artifacts as you consider the corporate narrative of a particular company or organization. And of course, as we're beginning this module, I do encourage you to look ahead to the requirements for that next essay and think about which company or organization you might like to select. You will be needing to let me know in an upcoming assignment next week. So now is a good time to start thinking about that. So after watching the Module 4 presentation and reading and viewing the other Module 4 materials, we will be having a discussion activity on Thursday, and it includes reading through a slideshow presentation. I have that hosted on Google Docs, but the link is in the discussion instructions. And then after you go through that presentation, responding to a discussion prompt, as usual. So responses to classmates will also be required. And so for this particular discussion, we're actually considering the organizational storytelling of Middletown City Schools. So a local example if you are taking the course from our part of Ohio. And so finally, I wanted to, a quick note, we are, of course, now about halfway through the semester. And so by this point, you've gotten a good sense of the course, how it works, what works for you, what doesn't work. And of course, I'm always looking for feedback on what is and is not working for you, as well as any suggestions that might help improve the course. So I have created a mid-course anonymous survey that I hope that you will take a few minutes to complete. It should be showing up at the end of Module 3 for you with a due date of Wednesday, October 16th. And the anonymous survey consists of just 3 open-ended questions about your learning in the class. It is completely optional. It's not worth any points, but I do appreciate you taking a few minutes to complete that. All right, so I do hope, though, as we finish up with Module 3 and get started with Module 4, I hope that you will enjoy our focus on storytelling. And of course, you let me know if you do have any questions at all.